is unable to express the amount of abandonment and amount of pain that have afflicted us in this genocide because of you, because of the whole world who saw and knew what is happening to us from October 7th until today. From October 7th until today. And Anas al-Sharif and I, arm in arm, our paths intertwined, we lived through such days that only our Lord knows about. On the passing of Anas, words are incapable of expressing because there are no words that can describe Anas's sense of justice, Anas's sacrifices, and the suffering he experienced, which is what we experienced as journalists. Anas al-Sharif is not just a journalist or just a human being. Anas was a mountain of a man, one of the mountains of Jabalia, a mountain from Jabalia camp, North Gaza. We lived through the good and the bad together. The Nazi-Israeli army insisted in cold blood to assassinate Anas and Mohammed Qareka and all the fellow journalists. But from this position and from this standpoint, and in the wake of Anas's passing, who has not yet even been buried, we will continue the coverage. We will continue the coverage despite the spiteful ones and despite this Nazi occupation. We will continue to cover it for the sake of Anas, Ismail, Hussam, all the young men, Muhammad, and all our fellow journalists. We will continue to cover, and whatever comes down from the sky, the earth will receive.
Gaza. Peace for the children of Palestine.
In a land where olive trees once.
While we are all full of grief, while we are full of rage, while we are full of pain, we do not stand hopeless. We do not stand here helpless. We do not stand here uncertain. We stand, we sit, we kneel, we live in certainty that the truth will prevail. And the deaths of all those in Gaza is not and will never be in vain. And Israel can continue to try to silence Gaza, but it will not succeed. I do not think the timing of the death or assassination is accidental, as Gaza has made its genocidal intent, or as Israel, apologies, has made its genocidal intent extremely clear. And it is trying to silence some of the most powerful voices that would have documented Israel's illegal, brutal, and barbaric occupation of Gaza and of Palestine. That concludes the remarks that we had today. But if anybody has a song or a prayer, I invite you up here, but we want to keep them respectful. We never want to stoop to the inhumanity that Israel is portraying, because we stand in light, we stand in love, we stand in truth, we stand in justice, and we stand in humanity. And then, I don't know if people brought pots and pans, but we would like to round out our evening with paying tribute to the requests of those in Gaza to bang and bang and bang louder and louder And that is precisely what we have done and we continue to do as global communities around the world, standing in truth and banging. Because if they refuse to listen, we will make our banging so loud that they have to. And I can tell you that banging works. We have driven NBC completely out of their first floor studios. They have completely abandoned their studios. If you look, they have toilet paper up in their windows so we can't even see into their newsrooms, but we don't need glass to see. We have successfully drowned out the programs on the 8th floor that they moved to. Because guess what? You could move higher. We get louder. We have successfully disrupted several broadcasts in CNN and these floors right here. And we have people on the internet asking, what are those crazy sounds in the background? Which gives us an opportunity to speak the truth to your viewers that you are refusing to speak. And they have brought engineers. You know how we know? Because we've talked to a lot of them. You cannot engineer the voice of truth out of your broadcasts. You cannot engineer the voice of truth out of your broadcasts.
That's right.
And I invite people all over the world, if y'all have friends and families in other cities, invite them to go and bang pots and pans and drums and trumpets and trombones and pianos and whatever the heck you want to bang to disrupt the news broadcasts. A lot of people go live in different cities and then go to online to Twitter and X and answer questions of people on Reddit and all these places saying, what is that banging? I invite y'all to do that on Thursday. Invite your friends, your families, your networks. We need to continue to banging. We need to go in the streets in the memory of Anas, in the memory of Shireen, in the memory of all the other journalists who have been killed and stolen. Israel did not succeed at silencing them. It actually made them louder. Thank you. All right, we're gonna invite you to join us. And if you can stay past 9 o'clock, please do. We will be making our way around the corner, and it is not a secret. Let's make sure NBC knows this is coming. Jen Psaki has a show that airs on that side of the building. We haven't disrupted her shows yet. And what we learned from doing this, they know our secrets. We've told them, we've invited them to conversations, right? This is not a secret. We've given them demands, we've invited their staff to come talk to us, we've given them information on how to do better, because we are not here to protest for the heck of protesting. We are here to make sure that they amplify voices of people like Anas and people in Palestine that they are manipulating and burying and lying for Israel, rather than amplifying Palestinian voices. And so it is not a secret. But what we learned is that we wait till the shows go live. And then we start with our noise, because it takes audio engineers a while to figure out how to drown out your sound and retune the microphones. We also learned that you can't tune out multiple levels of frequencies at one time. So you can drown out our pots and pans, we can't drown out our voices and our megaphones and our whistles and our sirens and our trombones and our bagpipes and our bullhorns and everything else that we do. You cannot drown it all out. So we invite you, if you can stay, please do. And if you cannot, please do continue to share the stories from Gaza, and actually do that anyway. Continue to speak truth to power, continue to show up where you can. Endurance, persistence, and perseverance is what is required of us in this moment. It could be showing up 1 hour a day consistently, do it. It could be banging pots and pans for 1 hour. Bassem invited us to do it on our balconies, in our streets, on the street corners, do it. Whatever it is that you do, do it. And just find a little room in your heart to do a little more to honor Anas and all of those that have been stolen from us. And so now, if no one has prayers or a song, let's start with the banging. We're gonna play one of the songs that's the Pots and Banging theme songs. Oh, you guys wanna sing something? Okay, all right. Well, we have the Wilson family that have been joining us in front of Blinken's home and the Israeli embassy. They are remarkable and wonderful, and we invite them to sing a song.
Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. No more murder, no more lies. Free, free, free Palestine. This is a wake-up call. Never again means never again fall. To all my people in Gaza, whenever they fight from each other. Your pain is my own pain. All for one and one for all. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. No more murder, no more lies. Free, free, free Palestine. Palestine. Gotta make a choice, better be on the right side of history. No one can be free till we all are free. Enough is enough. Gotta stop this genocide. Free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. Free, free, free Palestine. Free, free Palestine. No more murder, no more lies. Free, free, free Palestine. Palestine.
Gaza. Peace for the children of Palestine.
One whole year of genocide. Real beheaded babies with no front pages. Israelis raping Palestinians in cages. US paid the wages. UK supplied intelligence. Elephant in room evidence. Levels of malevolence. Catastrophe developments. Starvation skeletons. Pestilence's prevalence. Trauma inheritance. Rampaging regiments. Degenerates wreck tenements. Weapon test experiments. Leave population to elements. Concentration collate. In a camp where death awaits. A bomb descends and detonates. Disembowels and lacerates. Torsos torn shreds. Bodies no heads. Girls with no legs on their deathbeds. Heads without skulls. Hollowed out holes where there were souls. Dreams, goals. A father's last cuddle in a blood-soaked puddle. A ghostly grey child hangs plucked from the rubble. Planes bombing. Shrapnel, embedded children, babies burnt to ash. headlines without who killed them. Sick systems blame the victims for their decisions. Ignore the symptoms of cool, callous coalitions. Psychopathic politicians that they hate the mission. Incarcerate in prison, never pardon or forgiven. 24/7, 365, one whole year of techno.
Very sobering. I hope that you can say, understand that. Yeah, and but then
Mic check. Is anybody missing Mercedes keys?
There is a piece of luggage that has to be moved. If anybody has a piece of luggage that they left abandoned, it's at the back, it needs to be removed. Okay.
Over here.
I just like Muhammad's law.
In Islam is to read Quran and recite Quran for those that have passed on. And so we have with us a young man who's going to recite something for Anas and the other journalists who've been murdered.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم ولا تهنوا ولا تحزنوا وأنتم الأعلون إن كنتم مؤمنين إن يمسسكم قرح فقد مس القوم قرح مثله وتلك الأيام نداولها بين الناس وتلك الأيام نداولها بين الناس وليعلم الله الذين آمنوا ويتخذ منكم شهداء وليعلم الله الذين آمنوا ويتخذ منكم شهداء والله لا وليمحص الله الذين آمنوا ويمحق الكافرين. أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة أم حسبتم أن تدخلوا الجنة ولما يعلم الله الذين جاهدوا منكم ولما يعلم الله الذين جاهدوا منكم ويعلم الصابرين. ولقد كنتم تمنون الموت من قبل أن تلقوه فقد رأيتموه وأنتم تنظرون. وما محمد إلا رسول قد خلت من قبله الرسل أفإن مات أو قتل انقلبتم على أعقابكم ومن ينقلب على عقبيه فلن يضر الله شيئا وسيجزي الله الشاكرين. وما كان لنفس أن تموت إلا بإذن الله كتابا مؤجلا. ومن يرد ثواب الدنيا نؤته منها ومن يرد ثواب الآخرة نؤته منها وسنجزي الشاكرين. وكأين من نبي قاتل معه ربيون كثير فما وهنوا لما أصابهم في سبيل الله وما ضعفوا وما استكانوا والله يحب الصابرين. وما كان قولهم إلا أن قالوا ربنا اغفر لنا ذنوبنا وإسرافنا في أمرنا وثبت أقدامنا وانصرنا على القوم الكافرين. صدق الله العظيم.
الله أكبر.
translation if you guys want.
That was a beautiful way to lift them in prayer, in faith, and inshallah, their memory continues to be a light. I want to just draw attention now that we can see the candles. These represent journalists, humans, people, fathers, mothers that were assassinated brutally by Israel. And I also want to highlight, we did not add candles for their families, who were also often targeted and murdered in some sort of collective punishment. That term in and of itself is so inhumane and disgusting. But as these candles flicker, the light reminds us that during these dark times, we must continue to shine light, to be light, to add light. And as I said earlier, I want to end our evening with paying tribute to the brave Ghazan journalist and storyteller Bisan Auda, who invited us to bang pots and pans, and we know the live broadcasts have actually already started. So we invite you to help us line around these buildings, the street over there on the sidewalk and this, but do not block the sidewalk. And just bang pots and pans in rage, but also in hope and in defiance. Thank you so much for coming today. Thank you for honoring all of these journalists with your presence. Thank you for your prayers. Thank you for your love. Thank you for your activism. And I thank you in advance for banging pots and pans so that every person watching their live stream tonight goes to the internet and says why. And hopefully all of you go and answer them. Thank you.
as you can hear, the activists are kind of banging some pots and pans outside the Hall of the States here. This building houses both NBC, Fox, C-SPAN, several other news outlets are all kind of in this building here near Union Station, Washington, D.C. It's also kind of right across from the Capitol. So the activists here are doing that in the hope that the kind of primetime programming will pick up their sound and you know, provoke at least their message to be heard or mentioned or noticed, you know, by the networks on the side. And of course, the thing that kind of spawned this particular night, they've been doing this kind of thing for several nights, but the particular thing, which I'll end the live stream on here, that started this was, or that prompted this particular demonstration tonight, was an Israeli strike that killed 5 Al Jazeera journalists. I believe it was just 2 days ago.